Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the historic St. FX campus here in Antigonish, Nova Scotia. You're watching the High Button Sports production of the 2026 High Performance Camp. 46 players trying to crack the U14 roster to represent the province over in Moncton at the Atlantic Challenge Cup in Thanksgiving weekend. This will be the third game of this mini-series between Team Navy and Team Yellow, comprised of 23 players each, all Nova Scotians, all some of the best from their towns and regions, trying to be the best in the province. My name is Mason Tonight here with High Button Sports, as we're happy to give you the coverage from home of showcasing these young athletes trying to crack the provincial roster. Starting in goal for Team Yellow will be Trace Tanner, number 92. And then on the other side of the ice, looks like it will be number 32, Wyatt Ravlo, getting the nod for Team Navy. Just about ready to get going here. Looks like Edwin Varon will take the opening face-off for Team Yellow. He had an electric year alongside Landon Andrews, his right winger over in the Valley. They were able to capture the provincial title just a few months ago in Berwick. What a week that was of hockey, and should be no different here tonight with those two players together on the ice as Yellow gets the first possession. Here's Ritzy looking to work that on goal. It's going to be steered to the corner. Chance for Navy to clear. Ketty finds Cooper McDonald. Cooper McDonald will enter the zone on the near side. Puts the brakes on. Finds Ketty. As Duffy will take over. Sent back into the zone by Bailey Johnston. As there's a collision behind the net. That's going to be worked to the wall. Kept in by McDonald. Sends it across for Johnson. Shot low, redirected in front, but did not make its way on goal. Winding back is Max Guthrow from Cape Breton. He'll make the play with a Varon. That's going to be picked off and kept in the zone by Johnson. Johnson's shot will be deflected wide. Henry Chase on there to collect the puck. He'll cycle it back down low for Guthrow. Battle for the loose puck between him and Ben Remmer, fresh on the ice after a change. There's a pass for Andrews. He'll get picked off the puck as Remmer gets a piece of it, but Andrews gets it right back. Watch out here. Here comes Landon Andrews. He has the puck on his forehand, makes a move. Andrews shot, stop made. And what a burst of speed from number 17 in Yellow. Nearly made it 1-0 here early. Plays like that are why the Jets were able to win the provincial title. Number 17 bringing his stuff here early on. He'll head to the bench for a change. We're a minute and a half into this first period. As I mentioned before, these two teams played yesterday and this morning as well. This is the third of 4 games. They'll wrap it up tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Been a great few weeks of hockey on display on highbuttonsports.ca for the entire high-performance program. Finished off with the U14s and U15s. Nice move with the blue line from McKinnon off the face-off. He'll work it in deep. Picked up behind the net by Jackson Hoyt. Kept in at the line. There's a shot that will go off the pad of Ravlo. Kept in by Yellow. Here's Danny McDonald. Shot, another pad save. Redirected to the corner. Another chance for the blue line. Danny McDonald will shoot one. This can be sticked away once again by Wyatt Ravlo. 3 saves in a row from distance. McDonald pinching in. That's going to be picked up by Maverick Coleman. Coleman reverse hits his man along the wall. Puck is kept in. Another shot from distance. This time from Oliver McKinnon. Navy have a chance to clear. Here's McDougall, number 67 for Navy. He was a part of the Halifax Hawks squad that won the Atlantic Banner back over at the new Dalhousie rink just a few months ago. And that's going to be poked free. Here comes Yellow. Worked into the zone by Zaxton Bond from Pictou County as that will be poked free. There's a pass up ahead. Finds Henry Udall. Udall up for McDougall. Comes free. There's a shot, stop, rebound. Just sails through the slot. Nice look there from number 42 That is Cooper Best joining the rush. Best, another one of those Valley Jets, and there's a shot and a goal for Team Yellow. Nathan Cameron from Pictou County picks his spot over the glove, and it's 1-0 for the Yellow squad. Nice release there from Cameron. Places the puck perfectly into the top shelf, and Yellow strike first here in this one. Just past the 3-minute mark of this opening frame, we have our first goal. Here comes Gabe McLeod. McLeod will burst his way through the slot, comes free off the rebound, but unable to find the secondary opportunity. Kept in at the line. Nice play from McCallion. McCallion loses the handle, gets it back up top. McCallion played for the Western Hurricanes in the u14 AAA League here in Nova Scotia. Here comes Navy. Grant Johnston will play that in deep. Johnston, a Tassa duck. As Yellow gets possession back, here's McNaughton. Cross-ice pass, finds the goal scorer, Nathan Cameron. He'll play it back for McCallion. McCallion over to McNaughton. McNaughton through center. Here comes McCameron. Cameron makes a move as McLeod finds it. Shot on goal off the power move from McLeod, but cannot beat the pad of Ravelo. It's free at the center of the ice. It's going to be worked into the zone. Along the wall, Navy have possession in their own end. Here's Cooper Best as a turnover shot. It's going to be stopped by Ravelo. Who's letting that one go was Luke Ritzy. Here is Ethan McDonald. We'll work that on the wall. One-timer shot from the half wall will be stopped by Ravelo. Letting that one rip was Hudson Guthrow. Got a good shot off there, but Ravelo makes the save at the top of his crease. Rowan Murphy in for the face-off for Navy. Up against McDonald. Puck dropped. One back by Navy. Pass finds Sam McPherson. McPherson zips it for Rowan Murphy. Try to return it to him, but it's going to come free in the corner instead. Yellow got possession. Turned over. Here's McPherson. Couldn't get that one on goal. He was well defended in front of the net by Ethan McDonald. Here's Caden McDonald for Yellow. He has the puck on his own blue line. Over for Ethan McDonald, trying to make a move by the Navy defender, but hits a skate. And that will just trickle past the blue line and be called offside at the line. 1-0 is the score. Just the one goal to report. Nathan Cameron made it 1-0 a few minutes ago. Puck dropped, one back by Navy and neutral ice. Pass off the skate of Sam McPherson. That will come free for Henry Chason from the Sackville Flyers. Chason will take it from behind his own net. Makes the play across for Kostopoulos. Kostopoulos, another one of those Halifax Hawks who won the Atlantic Banner. Turnover, here's Ritzy. Pass to the slot. One-timer save made by Ravelo off the shot from Kostopoulos. Another chance in the slot, but that's going to be poked free. Yellow maintain possession in the O-zone. Here's a chance for Ethan McDonald. Shot will be stopped by Ravelo. No rebounds. Both teams will make changes. Andrews and Barron back out there together alongside Catch White. White played for the Sackville Flyers. They made it to the provincial championship game against the Jets, but could not defeat the powerhouse offense of the Valley team. Here's Varon down low, looking in front for White. That's going to hit a skate on the way through. Chance for Teddy to clear. Kept in at the line. Here is Chason. Finds Varon. Varon for a catch. White in the slot. That's just going to sail wide. Here's Andrews. Puts the brakes on. Has the puck. Will steer it down low. Takes a hit. And that's going to be a penalty as Jackson Duffy will be the penalized player on that one. Let's see what the call is. Boarding is the signal from the referee at center ice, so it will be a power play for Yellow. McKinnon and Danny McDonald will join Varon, White, and Andrews on the ice for this man advantage. Navy wins the face-off. Chance to clear. That's going to be rimmed up the wall, kept in. Here's McKinnon. Oliver McKinnon has the puck on the blue line on the power play. Will make the play over to Andrews. That will miss his stick. Comes free behind the net. White looking to get there first, but Navy gets first touch in the corner. Varian able to collect it on the wall. Varian up top. Finds McDonald. Shot up high, but gloved down by Ravlo as he saw that through the screen all the way. Three new forwards for Team Yellow for this power play. Bond will head out there with Nathan Cameron and Hunter Orkish. Puck hits the ice. One back by Navy. Transfer Jackson Hoyt to clear. That'll be kept in at the line by McKinnon. Takes a hit in the process from Silas Ketty. There's a shot from distance that will go wide of the net. And slapped to the blue line, but kept in. Another chance for Ketty to clear. This time he'll hold on to the puck. Ketty able to make it to the red line, but that's about it. Yellow takes it the other way. Here's Zaxton Bond. Bond will lose the puck, and that'll be cleared down the ice by Cooper McDonald from Dartmouth. Here's Oliver McKinnon. McKinnon across the ice for Hunter Orkish. Orkish finds Zaxton Bond in the middle of the ice. Bond will shoot one low off the pad of Ravla looking for the rebound, but there was none generated. Play to the line. Dana McDonald will try and flick that one back in the zone. Intercepted. Here comes Rowan McDougall. McDougall, shorthanded. Shot will go off the stick of Trace Tanner and into the corner. Collision along the wall looking for the rebound. Yellow get possession back. Here's McKinnon. Oliver McKinnon will hold on to it. Eventually makes the play up for Nathan Cameron. Cameron, pass across. Here's a shot. Scores. Great finish and a beautiful feed. Hunter Orkish goes over the glove. Great pass from Nathan Cameron. Power play goal for Yellow. They have doubled up their lead here in the first period. Beautiful dish off the zone entry. Finished off by Cape Breton's own Hunter Orkish. So a power play goal for Yellow. They lead by 2 here in the first. As they have possession again, here comes Bond. Bond over to Nathan Cameron. There's a slap shot coming from distance off the ricochet as McNaughton let one boom, and that's going to be stopped by Wyatt Ravlo. Here's Bond looking to work his way through the slot. Comes free again from McNaughton up top as this time it's blocked. McDougall will poke it ahead, 2-on-1, but good back check from Nathan Cameron, having a great first period so far in this one. Pass up ahead for Bond. Bond loses the handle. It's going to be turned over. Here comes Udall. Udall out there with McDougall, and there's a hip check. That's going to be a penalty on the play. Tripping's the call. It'll go against Ritzy as he gets a piece of McDougall streaking down the ice, so it'll be a Navy power play this time. Rimmer, McDougall, and Udall out there, 3 Halifax Hawks, joined by Bailey Johnston and Emmett Boutiette. Boutiette broke his skate blade in warm-up, so this will be his first shift of the game. Boutiette, a massive defenseman from Cole Harbour. Puck dropped, comes back to Boutiette at the blue line, makes the play for Udall. Udall's shot will be up the pad of Trace Tanner. Rebound collected by Johnston. Up top, batted out of midair by McDougall. McDougall trying to keep that in the zone, but that's going to be cleared down the ice by Gabe McLeod. Ravlo leaves it behind the net for Emmett Boutiette. Rimmer directing traffic. Here's Boutiette. Pass up for Rimmer. Ben Rimmer leaves it for McDougall. McDougall met with pressure at the line. Here comes Gabe McLeod, short-handed, having a good shift on this penalty kill as he's met with a good back check from McDougall. Navy get possession back. Here's Johnston through the middle of the ice for Udall, looking for Rimmer. That's going to be intercepted by Neil McCallion. Good job by Boutiette to prevent a chance to the other side as he steps up at the blue line. Here comes Landon Andrews. He finds Leckie. Aiden Leckie puts the brakes on at the top of the zone, looking for an option. Gets hit off the puck, comes free. There's Gauchi. Hayden Gauchi will take it wide on the near side, still has it on the goal line, takes it behind the net, looking for an option. Gauchi up top to the blue line, that's going to get past the stick of Johnson, forced to retreat. Here's a shorthanded 2-on-1. Here comes an opportunity. Shot low, scores. Andrews made the pass over to Aiden Leckie. He made no mistake. Shorthanded goal for Yellow, and they have tripled their lead here with 10:05 to go in the first period. Great poise from Andrews and a great finish from Coal Harbor's Aiden Leckie. Shorthanded goal for Yellow. They have complete control of this game so far. Here's Johnston. 25 seconds to go on the power play. He finds O'Donnell. Another Coal Harbor kid, Grayson O'Donnell, will get pinned to the boards. That's going to be cleared all the way down the ice off the turnover. Here's Ravlo. Ravlo over to Jace Wayman. Wayman from Sackville. He has the puck on his stick, looking to backhand that out of the zone as the penalty is now over. Back to 5-on-5. A very successful penalty kill for Team Yellow. They scored shorthanded. Here comes Ethan McDonald. Dishes it for Leckie. Aiden Leckie just scored the third goal of the game to give Yellow a comfortable lead. There's a hit along the boards. Puck comes free for Navy inside their own zone. Here's Warren Murphy. He'll lead the rush. Murphy through the middle of the ice, as that's going to be offside at the line, and pretty frustrating start for Team Navy. Not able to get much going. They've had a few chances, but Yellow has had the bulk of the possession so far in this game. Barron against Rowan Murphy for the face-off, just in front of the Yellow bench. One back for Guthrow. Here's Max Guthrow over to Henry Chason. He finds Barron in the middle. Poke checked free. Chance for Rowan Murphy. Takes a spill on the entry. As him being able to gather the puck. Sent into the zone by McPherson. Picked up behind the net. Here's Henry Chason. Chason nearly lost the handle, but still has possession for Team Yellow. He'll flick that into the opposite corner, right at the red line. First touch for Navy off the dump in. Looking for the return pass was Hoyt. Just out of his reach, gets it back. Nearly poked free off of his stick. Here's Doyle. Doyle up the wall, picked off by Chason. He'll go D-to-D over to Guthrow. Here is Max Guthrow up the ice, finds Landon Andrews. Andrews makes a move and shoots one on goal up off the pad. Rebound, covered up. Another dangerous opportunity generated from Landon Andrews. Let's see, let that one go low off the pad. Still 3-0, 8 minutes to go in the first. Jackson Duffy will take the face-off inside his own zone. Duffy was another one of those Sackville Flyers who made it to the provincial championship game but ultimately lost to the Valley Jets. That's going to be worked back inside the yellow zone. Here's Danny McDonald, chipped off the wall. Finds Zaxton Bond. Bond leaves it for Nathan Cameron. Cameron and back in front looking for Bond. One-timer from distance from McKinnon. He was fanned on off the clap bomb. Here comes Ketty. Silas Ketty down the far side wall. Will let a shot go off the transition play. That will go off the blocker of Trace Tanner. Good opportunity there. Here's Ketty again. Can't work that one through as he was poke checked off the puck on the goal line. Here's Danny McDonald. He'll work it up the wall. Finds Nathan Cameron. Cameron will let a slap shot go on goal. That's going to be gloved down by Ravlo, and he will not take any chances and freeze play with the glove. Face off will be the blocker side of Wyatt Ravlo. Puck is dropped. as that'll be cleared all the way down the ice. No icing's a signal. Here's Kellen McNaughton. Hold on to the puck, makes a play up the wall. One-touch pass to the middle. Here comes Leckie. Aiden Leckie drops it off. There's a toe drag release, shot block, rebound sent wide of the net. Nice look there from Luke Ritzy off the pass from Leckie. Here's Ritzy, the top of the circle, finds Leckie to the slot. That's going to be batted free. Boutsiet has the puck. Boutsiet up for Rimmer. Rimmer over to McDougall, stays on side looking for the turn feed to Rimmer, but a good back check as Gabe McLeod prevented an opportunity there. Here's McLeod with the puck on the opposite side. He'll let a shot go from distance and go off for a change. Udall up for Rimmer. One-touch pass to McDougall. He'll enter the zone through the middle of the ice. McDougall's shot low will be steered to the corner. Here's Hudson Guthrow looking for the puck. Boutsiet finds it on the wall. Boutsiet using his big frame to muscle that back into the zone. Just as pass intercepted. Here's McDougall looking in front for Udall off a skate. Rimmer finds the rebound. Rimmer will work that to the boards, but intercepted, and that will trickle out of the zone. Here's Johnston over to Boutsiet. Boutsiet back for Johnston, looking up ice for an option. He finds Rimmer. Rimmer one touch for McDougall. Just out of his reach, couldn't make the play cleanly in the zone, but able to maintain possession. Nice mitts there from McDougall along the board, so try and work that in deep. Intercepted by Hudson Guthrow. He'll make the play up for catch White, but picked off by Boutsiet. Emmett Boutsiet works that in the middle of the ice. We'll play it across to the near side wall. Muscles that into the corner as he's 1-on-4 right now as his teammates were changing. Guthrow gets possession back for Yellow. Pass across from Ethan McDonald. He'll flick that into the zone. Getting there first off the dump in is Bailey Johnston. He has the puck on his stick with 5 minutes to go in the opening frame. Johnston down the near side. Enters the zone, looking for an option, plays it towards the net. It's going to hit a stick on the way through. It does not make its way on goal. Up top, here's Boutsiet. He'll walk the line and shoot one on stop made, and no rebound generated from Trace Tanner as O'Free's play. Face off to the glove side of Tanner. Edwin Varon wins it back to the corner. Chason battling for possession against Nathan Cameron. Played back in deep by Wayman. Douchy back to the blue line. Wayman has it again. We'll work that off the wall. It's going to bounce free. Here comes Andrews. Couldn't take the pass from Varon. Just goes through his legs. Here's Warren Murphy, has the puck as that will bounce off the side of the net and be covered up by Wyatt Ravlo. About 4 minutes to go in the first. 3-0 to score for Team Yellow. Varon will take the face-off in the offensive zone against Rowan Murphy. One back. Here's a shot from Andrews that will go off the stick of the goaltender and wide. Chason holds the line, played in deep. Warren Murphy will go up the wall, finds Wayman, back towards Murphy. Wayman gets it back, play to the wall for McPherson. McPherson looking to clear. That will bounce out of the zone, but be collected by Team Yellow. Here's Cameron. That's a good hesitation move there, makes the defender fall. Here's a chance from Chason that will hit a body and go wide. Varon finds the rebound. Edwin Varon will lose possession. Free puck at neutral ice. Chason will guide that into the zone on the near side. Chason is backhand pass across for Varon as he's able to pull the trigger, but that will go wide. Other than that, didn't quite have the angle. Kept in by Andrews at the line. Nice hesitation move. Still has the puck. Andrews will shoot one low. Rebound just sent wide by Varon. Another good opportunity there generated from Landon Andrews, but Varon cannot finish off the rebound. Here's McPherson. Up the ice, finds Himian, as that will be played back towards the Navy zone. Chipped down the ice. No icing is a signal. Last player back is Max Guthrow from Cape Breton County. He'll stretch a pass up the ice. Here's a shot from distance from Luke Ritzy. That will go off the blocker of Wyatt Ravlo. Clearing attempt intercepted. Here's Ritzy. Ritzy will get hit off the puck. Comes free for Navy. Here comes Doyle. Little dish of the cross for Cooper McDonald, just out of his reach. Couldn't accept it cleanly. McDonald able to maintain possession. Played a little line. Here's Hoyt's shot will be gloved down by Tanner, and there'll be no rebound. Two and a half to go in the opening frame. Puck dropped. One to the blue line for Team Navy. Here's McDonald. Just able to hold the line. Gets a favorable bounce. Stays inside the zone. As Ketty looking for it down low. Pinching in to keep that alive is Rory Doyle, but that will be played offside, or that might have been a hand pass. Either way, it was whistled out. Face off inside the yellow zone. They have a 3-goal lead here late in the first period. Puck is dropped. There's a hit down low, looking for the loose puck. Picked up. Played to the blue line for Hoyt. He'll let a shot go. That's going to make its way on net, and that'll be covered up by Trace Tanner once more. Face off to the blocker side this time of Tanner. One back. Here's a shot that's going to be blocked in front unintentionally by Silas Ketty, as he was looking to screen the goaltender, not block the shot, but he did the latter part instead. There comes Ketch White on the other side for Yellow. Has Lucky with them. White trying to go wide, but good defensive stick by Rory Doyle. Prevents a scoring chance. Ketty gets the pass. Silas Ketty trying to burst wide past the defender, but he couldn't get past Niall McCallion. Puck bouncing in the circle. Ketty finds it. Ketty pass in front will be good off a skate. Looking for Jackson Duffy. Here's Coleman. Shot will deflect wide. Comes free in front, but collected by Aiden Leckie. Leckie over to Gabe McLeod. He's met at center ice, and looks like we have a whistle. Interference is going to be the penalty signal from the referee. It will go against Navy. Silas Ketty heading to the box. So an opportunity for Yellow to extend their lead on the man advantage. Leckie, White, and Gabe McLeod out there on the offensive side with Oliver McKinnon and Kellen McNaughton on the blue line. Puck dropped. Played to the line, but unable to handle that one was McCallion, forced to retreat at center. McCallion goes over to McNaughton. Back for McCallion. McCallion gets poked off the puck, but Yellow able to maintain possession. White will guide that in the corner. White has a man in front, but will backhand that one on goal. Save made as we're inside the final minute of the opening period. Navy clears it down. Tanner will leave that behind the net for McCallion. 40 seconds to go. McCallion dishes it off for Leckie. Aiden Leckie collects the puck on his backhand, chips it off the wall. Nice play for McLeod. McLeod will hesitate, and that allowed the back checker to catch up to him. McLeod dishes it off. Here's a move from McCallion to the slot, intercepted by McDougall. McDougall will take it to the corner with 20 seconds to go in the period. It's going to come free behind the net. 15 seconds to go. Played up the boards by Cooper Best. Here's McDougall with 10 seconds to go. Puck worked to the corner. One last chance here for Yellow. Play to the line. Here's McCallion. McCallion over to McNaughton. They might have run a time here, and that's exactly what's going to happen. So 3-0 will be your score after 20 minutes. Yellow have the lead heading into the dressing room. You're watching the High Button Sports production of the Nova Scotia High Performance Program. We'll be back for the second period after the break. Welcome back to the beautiful St. FX campus here in Antigonish, Nova Scotia. You're watching the Hockey Nova Scotia High Performance Summer Camp live on highbuttonsports.ca. This game features the male U14 group. Team Yellow has a 3-goal lead heading into this middle frame. They will start the period on the power play for the opening 42 seconds or less. Silas Kennedy took a late penalty. And we are off and running here for the second period of play. 20 fresh minutes on the board. Yellow have the lead as of right now, but plenty of hockey left to go in this game. There's an early hit along the wall from Rimmer. Yellow get possession. Here's Hudson Guthrow, number 5 for Yellow. He'll dish it across, looking for Cade McDonald just out of his reach. Boots get there to collect it. Stretch pass looking for Rimmer. Eventually trickles its way to number 54 in Navy. He'll clear that in the zone. Here's Kalen Kostopoulos with the puck for Team Yellow. It's a bit of wet ice there. It prevents a clean pass. Johnston will play it back for Boots yet as the penalty is expiring. Back to 5-on-5. Keddy out of the box, and he'll go right to the bench. Clear down the ice, picked up by Guthrow. Over to Caden McDonald. Up the wall, finds Nathan Cameron. Cameron scored the first goal of this game back in the first period. That'll be played back inside the Yellow zone. Guthrow looking to stretch a pass up. Gets back to his stick. Guthrow crosses the X at center ice. Enters the zone. He'll let a shot go into the glove. And that'll be the first touch of the game for Noah Boutelier, number 12, making his third appearance of the mini-series for Team Navy. Over on the other side, it's Lucas Price from Sackville. Puck dropped inside the Navy zone. They're looking to clear. They're looking to get a couple goals here, too, as they are down by 3. Puck bouncing at center. Picked up by Max Guthrow. Over to Henry Chason. One-touch pass finds Landon Andrews, so we'll leave it for Edwin Varon. Up top, here's Chason. He'll let a shot go. It's going to go off the pad of Noah Boutelier. Andrews will play that towards the net. Intercepted. Here comes Navy surging up the ice. Poke check will free up the puck. Stretch pass ahead from Ritzy, just out of the reach of Landon Andrews. So he'll collect the puck back at center. Makes a nice toe drag move. Here's Andrews' shot. That's going to go off the blocker. What a move from number 17 in Yellow. Looks easy out there for him at times. Andrews. As he'll lose the puck, Ritzy there to collect it. Over to Chason. Chason will work that into the zone. Comes free for Doyle. Doyle looking to play up to the line. Kept in by Yellow. Here's a chance for Andrews. Fanned on in the slot. Chason holds the line and shoots one. That's going to go off the crossbar. Nearly made it a 4-0 score. Good surge here on this shift from Team Yellow, but still 3-0. Here's Grant Johnston. Pass across the ice. Worked into the zone. There's a hit from Andrews. That's going to be a penalty on the play. Touched up by Ritzy and whistled down. Elbowing is the call. You don't see that one called too often. So it'll be a Navy power play. Rowan Murphy in for the face-off against Zaxton Vaughn. Puck dropped. That's going to be one back by Yellow and cleared to the line. Puck just trickles past the blue. As there to collect it is Jace Wayman. He'll go across for Warren Murphy. That'll be turned over and sent in deep by Hunter Orkish. Nice hit from Orkish on Sam McPherson. That will get the Navy bench excited. Or Yellow bench, I guess. We'll get more excited for that. Here is McPherson. He finds Warren Murphy. Pass to the slot will hit a stick. Bounces free. Here's Wayman. Shot will go wide of the net. Comes free in the corner. Here's Rowan Murphy. Up top for McPherson. Back for Murphy. Murphy has it along the wall. Gets past the defender. Takes it behind the net. Looking for an option. Murphy plays it up top to the blue line. Gets the return feed on the half wall. Murphy towards the slot. That's going to be poked free. And just able to hold that in the zone is Wayman. He'll chip it towards the wall. Picked off and cleared down the ice by Oliver McKinnon. Here's Warren Murphy, last player back for Navy. Makes a nice escape move. Pass through center. Off the skate comes free for Rowan Murphy. 40 seconds to go in the power play. Murphy will wind up from his own zone. Makes the play up the wall. Cooper McDonald will feed it for McPherson. McPherson will walk it and shoot one tipped on goal. Save made by Price, his first test of the game. Rebound cleared down the ice. 20 seconds to go in the power play. Out to play it is Boutlier. Will leave it behind the net. Picked up by Team Navy. There's Duffy. Duffy over to Ketty. Ketty centering pass for McDonald will be intercepted. Boutlier will leave it behind the net. Once again, picked up by Maverick Coleman from the Valley. Over to Ketty. Here's Silas Ketty through the middle of the ice. Picked up by Duffy. Duffy will go wide, looking for an option as we're back to 5-on-5. Duffy winds through the zone, still has it up top, but just loses the handle at the blue line, forced to retreat at center. Coleman turns it over. Here comes McCallion. McCallion will walk in, shooting on. It's going to go up and high and over the net, past the glove side. Picked up. Duffy finds Ketty. Ketty streaking down the right side. Will pass across off the defender's skate. Goes off the pad of Price and just stays out. Good athleticism there from the Team Navy goaltender. I guess that's the Team Yellow goaltender. It kind of throws me off with the black jersey. Here comes Kostopoulos. He'll take a hit as he makes the play inside the zone. Coleman there to collect. Coleman will try and backhand one through the middle. Picked up by Cooper McDonald for Navy. He'll play that back in his own zone. Off the wall, turned over, sent back in by Ketch White from Sackville. As shot will be steered to the corner. Here's Coleman. That's going to be turned over. Here's Nathan Cameron looking to center it. It's going to go off the side of the net and stays behind the goal line. Cameron up the line for McDonald. Gets the return feed as Ketty will take over. Nice pass to find Cooper McDonald. McDonald has Duffy with them, looking to find him, but he couldn't get past the defensive stick, Nathan Cameron. Here, the chance for yellow, but that's going to be offside at the line as Ethan McDonald carried that through the middle of the ice, but yellow was offside. Just past the 6-minute mark of the second period. McDougall against Barron for the face-off. Puck dropped. One back by yellow. D-to-D pass finds Hudson Guthrow. He'll work that in deep. Back to collected his boots yet. Hope played up the wall. Kept in at the line by Cade McDonald. His shot will go wide to the opposite corner. Here's Johnston. Johnston takes a hit but makes the play up the ice. Here comes a 2-on-1. McDougall has Udall with them. Just out of the reach was that pass. Looking for Henry Udall streaking in the slot. Yellow get possession back. Here is Ritzy through the middle. Picked off by Rimmer. Played back in the zone, but Ritzy gets it right back on his stick. He'll lead the rush for Yellow. 2-on-3. Ritzy right down Main Street. Drops it off for Andrews. Andrews for Guthrow. Hudson Guthrow's shot will go off the blocker of Boutlier. Rebound in the corner. Here's McDougall. Looking for a lane. Loses the puck. It's come free for Andrews. Shot stop made by Boutlier as once again Landon Andrews providing some offense on the Team Yellow side. This time it was stopped by Noah Boutlier. Yellow will make a few changes. Puck one ahead by Navy in their own zone. Here's Rimmer. He finds Udall. Udall drops it for Bootsiet. Bootsiet's shot we blocked on its way through. Might have hit the body of Caden McDonald. As there's a big collision behind the net. Bootsiet gets taken down by Caden McDonald. Big collision between two big bodies. There's another hit. As here's a 2-on-1 opportunity. Here comes Orkish. Orkish pass across looking for White, but just out of his reach. back and forth action here in the second period. Bootsiet finds it. He'll whack it down the ice. Chase on last player back, and that will be icing. Couple big body collisions on that recent shift. These players are entering their first year of contact hockey, so a lot of them have never been hit before in a game. O'Donnell in for the face-off. That's going to be one ahead. Foot race for the puck. Looks like Chason will get there first for Team Yellow. He'll go up the wall. That's going to just stay in the zone. There's Johnston. Loses the puck. Leckie will take over. Leckie takes a hit at center, but makes the play to Nathan Cameron. Cameron looking to steer it towards the net as he's fought off on the angle. That's going to be a penalty on the play. Holding's the call. Cameron was disrupted on the way to the net. Looks like it'll be Hayden Gauchi sitting in the box for Team Navy. So a power play for Yellow. Leckie, McLeod, and Cameron out there alongside Chason and Guthrow. That is Max Guthrow, number 7 for Yellow. There's 2 Guthrows in the yellow-blue line. But this is Max Guthrow out there. He has the puck, gets it right back. Off the pass from Leckie, his shot will go off the blocker. Rebound collected by Chainsaw. Play to the line for Guthrow. Here comes Max Guthrow over for Leckie. Leckie back for Guthrow. Back for Leckie. One-timer fanned on. So he couldn't get enough mustard on that one to produce his shot, and that will be cleared down the ice. Here's Price. Leaves it for Chason behind the net. Over for Guthrow. Max Guthrow looking for an option. He finds Leckie. Here comes Aiden Leckie. He loses the handle on the entry as Grayson O'Donnell there to poke him off the puck. 2 Cole Harbour players battling against each other in this game. Here's Guthrow again behind his own goal line with a minute to go on the power play. Fakes out O'Donnell on the forecheck. Guthrow still has it. Over to Leckie as Yellow unable to stay on side, and that will stop play. Face off in front of the Yellow bench. Puck is dropped. Yellow get possession. Here's Danny McDonald over to Oliver McKinnon. McKinnon enters his zone on the near side, puts the brakes on, holds onto it up top. Over to Danny McDonald. McDonald looking for a lane. He'll shoot one low. That's going to be stopped by Boutlier with the stick. Puck on the half wall. Now up top for Ritzy. Ritzy fakes the pass, eventually makes the play, and McKinnon will hold on to it up top. Back for Ritzy. Ritzy looking for a lane up top. Finds McKinnon. McKinnon shot through the screen. Rebound generated off the shin pad, but cleared to the corner. Chance for Murphy to clear, and he will do just that. As we're now halfway through this game, 10 minutes have come and gone in the second. 14 seconds to go in the power play for Team Yellow. They have a 3-0 lead. No goals yet in this second period. There's a touch pass for McDonald to make a move towards the net, but couldn't pull the trigger. Ethan McDonald gets it back. Pass up to the line. Here's McDonald. Shot low. It's going to be tipped up and high and gloved down. Where's the puck? It's in the slot. A Yellow able to get a shot off there. It's going to go off the shin pad unintentionally of Ethan McDonald in front of the net. Here comes Navy with the now. Chance for Rowan Murphy. 3-on-1. Murphy will keep and shoot one off the crossbar. Nice release from Rowan Murphy, but he cannot beat the iron. Still 3-0. Here's Danny McDonald looking to clear. He'll reverse hit Sam McPherson along the wall. Comes free for Edwin Varon. Varon, nice move to get by the defender. Varon still has it behind the net, looking for an option. Finds Andrews, but he got his stick lifted, couldn't accept the pass. Kept it at the line. That's going to bounce off the end wall. Comes free behind the net. Varon looking for it on the forecheck. Comes free for Andrews. Here's Andrews. Michigan attempt. Nearly put that into the top corner. That would have brought the house down, but still 3-0. Here's Andrews. Has the puck up top. Leaves it for McNaughton. Back for Andrews. Andrews, a crafty right winger, has the puck. The top of the circle. Lets a shot go. It's going to be stopped. Rebound covered up by Boutelier. Great set of skill on number 17. Nearly got the Zorro Michigan to go there. That would have been something. I've seen Andrews do a lot of cool things in the brief period I've been able to cover him through this company, and I feel like he's always got a new trick up his sleeve every shift. He has the puck on his stick at neutral ice. Here comes Andrews. Takes it wide. Andrews gets hit off the puck. Nice play there from Jackson Duffy to separate the man from the body. Flicked up to center. Picked up by Landon Andrews. It's a magnet on his stick tonight. He'll work that ahead, looking for Varon out of his reach. Navy get possession. Here's Maverick Coleman. So that's going to be played through center, looking for McDonald. Turned over. Here comes Varon. Varon makes a move wide, shoots one, stop, rebounds there. Here's Andrews, sent towards the goal, but just wide. Here's Keddy, takes a hit, looking to make the play. Chipped down the ice. Last man back is Kellen McNaughton. McNaughton will go forehand. That's going to be kept in at the line by Duffy. Duffy drops it off, pass across, will be out of the reach. Coleman could make the play. Here is Cooper McDonald. Finds Keddy. Pass in front, tipped off the post again. Another opportunity for Navy, but they cannot beat the iron twice now in the last few minutes. Turnover, that's going to be offside. That will stop play, and a good opportunity there for Duffy, but he cannot stay on the right side of the blue line. McDougall will take the face-off against Zaxton Bond in front of the Navy bench. That's going to be one back for Bootsiet at neutral ice. Emmett Bootsiet will work it through center. Finds McDougall. McDougall will work that into the zone, but offside at the line again. Puck dropped at neutral ice just outside of the yellow zone. They win possession off the draw, but eventually poked free. Worked into the zone by Johnson. Picked up by Caden McDonald. He'll rim that up the wall, looking to clear. Kept in. Here's Oodle. Oodle for Rimmer. Rimmer loses the handle, poked free. Here comes Nathan Cameron. Cameron makes the play over to Orkish. Orkish shot from distance will go wide past the blocker side. Good bounce here for Navy. Pass finds Oodle. Oodle over to McDougall. McDougall loses the handle as Rimmer loses his sticks, unable to make the play. Here comes Hunter Orkish. Orkish will enter the zone on the near side, looking for an option. Drops it off, finds Caden McDonald. That'll be worked on goal and covered up by Boutelier. That's all for East play. Lackey out there for the face-off against Grayson O'Donnell. Puck dropped. One back by Navy. Here's Hoyt. Hoyt up the wall. Finds Johnston. Over to O'Donnell. O'Donnell will find Gauchi. Gauchi backhand across. Comes free in front, but got his stick lifted. Was O'Donnell. Couldn't make the play. Johnston up top. Will play it to the wall for Gauchi. Gauchi spins off the check. Still has the puck in the corner. Gauchi loses the handle. Picked off by Luke Ritzy. Played up ahead. Here comes McLeod. Couldn't get the shot up, but eventually he does as he got his body lifted. There's a chance in front on the back door for Leckie, looking for his second of the game, but stopped by Boutelier. There's a big collision along the wall. Intensity ramping up here with 5.5 to go in the second. That's going to be worked in deep. Boutelier there to leave it behind the net. Hoyt will take over. Hoytford makes the play over to Doyle. And that will be sent down the ice for an icing call. An exciting second period. Chances on both sides, but no goals yet in this frame. Face-off will be to the blocker side of Boutelier inside his zone. One ahead by Yellow off the reset. Here's White. Pass in front will go off a stick. Kostopoulos has it to the line for McKinnon. McKinnon will rim that along the wall. Picked up by Murphy. Murphy looking to go up the ice for Navy. Nice pass and a good hit on the reverse from Hemmen. There's a shot off the rush from Sam McPherson, but he couldn't beat the glove of Price, who just got enough of it to prevent a goal. Here comes Yellow with it now. McDonald through the middle of the ice. Ethan McDonald looking for an option, pulls it and tries to shoot one, but he couldn't get past the defender's stick. Centering pass comes free. Here's Hemian. Hemian will work it through the feet of the defender. Comes free in the corner. That's going to be picked up by McCallion. McCallion will slow things down behind his own net. Makes the play out to McKinnon. McKinnon, cross-ice pass will go off the body of McPherson, kept inside the zone. Yellow with a chance to clear as that puck came loose. Here's Murphy. Murphy will steer that into the corner. Picked up by McKinnon. Here's Oliver McKinnon. Make the play. It's nearly turned over in the slot. Comes free for Yellow. Here comes Catch White. White will enter the zone. Lets a shot go up, change directions. That hopped off the body of Wayman, but goes wide of the net. As there's a chance in front. Puck is bouncing, but able to corral that one is Boutelier. He'll freeze play once more. Duffy was about to take the face-off, but he broke his stick. So he'll go to the bench. Navy needs his new center. Out comes McDougall. Tough break there for Jackson Duffy. So it'll be Silas Keddy against Edwin Varon for the draw. One back by Yellow in the O-zone. Here's McCallion sent towards the net as Varon couldn't find the rebound, steered away by Maverick Coleman. There's a penalty on the play. Looks like it will go against Yellow. Here's Keddy. Silas Keddy makes the play up for Coleman. Delayed call. Here's a pass in front, redirected wide by Keddy. Nice redirection there, but couldn't find the back of the net. Keddy still has it. Pass will go off a stick, comes free in front. Another opportunity blocked. So 6-on-5 right now is the delayed call still in effect. Here's Cooper McDonald. Takes a hit along the wall, and that's going to be touched up and whistled down. Head contact, the call. It will go against McCallion. Or, pardon me, Nathan Cameron. Power play for Navy. A chance to get their first goal of the game. Puck hits the ice. Shot off the draw will be blocked, and that will ricochet down the ice. Here's Boutelier. He'll leave it for Boutiette. Here's Emmett Boutiette. He'll cycle it back down low. Finds Bailey Johnston. Johnston looking for an option. Back for Boutiette. As 20 seconds have gone on this power play. Boutiette gets the return feed. Makes the move. Is able to chip it to himself at center. Boutiette will hold on to it as he enters the zone. Looking for an option. He'll loop his way around the net. Now up top. He'll cycle it down low. Here, there's a pass in front by Duffy. He's got his new stick, and that's going to be turned over. Chance short-handed. Here comes Orkish. Orkish will let a shot go off the blocker. Rebounds up and high, but that'll bounce wide. Johnston over to Duffy. Duffy enters the offensive side on the power play. 1 minute to go on the man advantage. Duffy makes the play to the half wall for Cooper McDonald. McDonald holds on to it. Takes it down low. McDonald will bounce that off the wall for Boutiette. Boutiette will wind and shoot one low. Tipped on goal. Rebound will just make its way behind the net. Here's Keddy. Keddy will drag and shoot one off the post. Another iron for Navy in this period. That's 3 for them in this frame, and that will be cleared down the ice. Foot race for the puck. Bond will get there first. Bond fights off the forecheck, makes a play in the slot. Here's Ritzy. Ritzy will work that back in deep. Picked up by Boutiette. Boutiette will pitch it to himself. Loses the handle. Here's Ritzy, short-handed. Takes the puck from Boutiette, holds onto it down low. Ritzy will work that in front off a body. Here comes Ketty. With 5 seconds to go on the power play, Ketty has McDonald with him. Shot off the blocker of Price. Rebound cleared away and sent to center, and that's going to do it for the power play. 1:05 to go in the period. Nice move from Doyle's shot will be stopped by Price. Rebound will be sent down the ice. Here comes Leckie. Aiden Leckie makes a move and will shoot one on off the pad. Just getting enough of that one was Boutelier as Leckie nearly scored his second of the game. Down the other side we go. Here's Doyle joining the rush as he'll get his pocket picked on the back check. Puck turned over, 40 seconds to go. Here's McDougall. Couldn't work that through the defender. Comes free for Chason. He'll make the play up the wall. Ritzy. Nice move to get off the boards. Ritzy across the ice, picked up by Guthrow. Guthrow gets poked off the puck. Rimmer finds it. Rimmer gets taken down with a big hit at center. Gabe McLeod finishes that one off. What a collision that was. Here's Chason. He'll flick that one up and over the glass, and that will stop play. 12 seconds to go in the second period. Face-off will be just outside the yellow zone on the near side. McDougall in for the draw against McDonald. That's Ethan McDonald. It's going to be one back to the yellow zone. Chance to clear. Here's a turnover. Oodle's shot will just sail wide past the glove side. 2 seconds to go. Here's a chance off the pad of Price. And just as we started this period, it will be 3-0 for Team Yellow. Boutelier and Price both perfect in the second period. As we'll head to our last intermission, you're watching the High Button Sports Production. Our coverage of the Nova Scotia High Performance Program Summer Camp will continue after the break. Welcome back to St. FX campus. You're watching High Button Sports. Our coverage continues of the Nova Scotia High Performance Program Summer Camp. This game features the boys under 14, 2013 born. As 46 players came here to Antigonish looking to crack a spot on the Team Nova Scotia lineup for the Atlantic Challenge Cup over Thanksgiving weekend in Moncton. This is the third game of the 4-game mini-series. We'll play one more game tomorrow morning. 3-0 to score right now for Team Yellow. We'll have two new goalies in the net. Number 73, Ryan Withrow for Team Yellow. As you can see him on the left side of your screen. And then on the other side, number 23 is Thomas Yeomans-Viner. Both goalies were perfect in the second period. That was Boutelier and Price. They both pitched a shutout to keep this game 3-0. Same score it was after the first period. Here's Emmett Boutsiet looking to kickstart the Navy offense. Boutsiet will wind the puck into the zone. Picks it up down low. Puck is bouncing for Gauchi. Boutsiet plays up to the line. Here's a shot on goal. It's going to go wide. Might have hit something on the way through as Bailey Johnson let that one rip from distance. Gauchi will keep that into the zone as he gets pinned to the boards. 2-on-2 in the corner looking for the loose puck. Eventually it squirts free. Here's Gauchi. Leaves it for O'Donnell to the line for Boutsiet. Boutsiet will drag and shoot one that's going to go off a stick. That will bounce to the corner. Picked up by Ethan McDonald, who'll make the play up ahead for Luke Ritzy, who'll guide that into the zone and peel off for a change. There's Boutsiet. Emmett Boutsiet will skate the puck up the ice, has Varon on the back check. Boutsiet gets past him, still has the puck. Boutsiet pass in front, tipped wide. Rebounds there, O'Donnell couldn't jam it home. Here's McKinnon. Play to the line that will get past Grant Johnston to go all the way down the ice for an icing call. And then Andrews back out there for Yellow. He's an excellent mini camp so far. Had a great season with the Valley Jets. Helped them win the provincial banner. Him and his Jets teammate Edwin Varon playing together in this game. As that will be gloved down by Nathan Cameron. Cameron will work ahead for Varon. Varon through the slot, has it on his backhand, looking to pull it back to his forehand, but he couldn't do so. Well defended. There's Cameron looking in front for Andrews off a stick. Cameron gets it back, finds Andrews in the circle. Shot low off the pad of Yeomans-Viner, who'll make the save. His first touch of the game. Play to the line. Here's McCallion, who'll walk right down the middle, but he couldn't get the angle as he'll be forced back to the blue line and poked free out of the zone. Navy get possession. Here's Rowan Murphy. He'll send that in deep. First touch will go to McNaughton. He'll guide the puck up the wall, but watch out for that rough patch of ice in the corner, as that will make its way into the glove of Ryan Withrow, and he'll freeze play. .17.5 to go in the third. Zaxton Bond will head out there for the face-off. Up against Jackson Duffy. Puck dropped. Duffy out there with Cooper McDonald and Silas Ketty. That'll be worked on goal, and that will be covered up once more by Withrow. Puck dropped. One to the line. Here's Wayman. We'll spin that to the wall. It's going to come free. Caden McDonald looking to dig it loose. Picked up. There's Luke Ritzy. Makes the play up for Hunter Orkish. Orkish has a goal in this game. Puck bouncing. Picked up in the D zone by Duffy. He'll look to make the play, and he does for Silas Ketty. Ketty will chip it to himself. Gets the bounce off the boards. Here's Ketty's shot. That will go off the shoulder of Withrow. Wide of the net. Still 3-0. There's another chance, as that's going to be sent just wide by Warren Murphy. Ritzy leaves it behind the net for Caden McDonald. He'll go up the wall. That's going to be kept in at the line by Cooper McDonald. Here's a chance for Ketty off the pad. Rebound sent just wide. Nice power move in front there from the Tacit Duck, as that's going to come loose in front, sent to the corner off the skate. Great chance there for Navy to get their first goal of this game, but standing his ground was Ryan Withrow. Puck will be poked free. There's Udall. Udall over to Doyle. Doyle will work that into the zone. Udall steers it to the wall. Udall looking to play that back up top. That's going to come free in the circle. Udall shoots one. That's going to go into the equipment of Withrow, who will cover things up. Just past the 4-minute mark of this third period. Still 3-0. No goals in that second frame. Puck dropped. Lucky against McDougall for the draw. One back. Here's a shot up high. Sails over the net. Shot from Grant Johnston. To the line for Doyle. Doyle works it down low for McDougall. McDougall will go forehand up the wall. Back up top for Doyle. Holds it in the zone. Doyle shoots one low. Tipped just wide off the stick of Grant Johnston. Centering pass. Bounces in front for Udall. Save made from Withrow. And that's going to go past the goal line, but whistle blew. So a premature whistle. Navy can't believe it. So it will remain 3-0. Off the reset, here's Doyle. Oh, got that back into the zone. Comes free out of the corner. Here's Johnston. Back for Doyle. He'll rim it around the wall. Picked up by Dana McDonald. Up the boards. Hoyt will work that back in deep. Kept in at the line by Doyle. Doyle works it down low. Centering pass. Looking for McDougall. Will bounce to the line. Here's Hoyt. He'll work that back into the zone. Good pressure here from this Navy shift, as that's going to be kept in by Doyle. Rimmed around the wall by Dana McDonald. That will be kept in once more by Hoyt at the line. Chance for Ethan McDonald to clear. That will make its way to center. Here's Hoyt. Hoyt over to Doyle. As he'll dump it in and peel off for a change. 5 minutes have gone in the third period. That's going to be kept in by McDougall with a stick lift. He'll guide that along the boards. As penalty on the play. That's going to be touched up by yellow, and that will be whistled down. So an opportunity for Navy to score their first on the man advantage. Interference to call. It will go against Kalen Kostopoulos for Team Yellow. Varon and Andrews out there for this penalty kill. And for the face-off is Grayson O'Donnell. That's going to be one back clean by Varon. Chance to clear, but kept in by Navy. Play to the line. Here's Johnston to the half wall. Here's a shot on. It's going to be stopped as Hemian let that one rip. Might have hit a body on its way through. There's O'Donnell up top for Johnston. Shot on from Hemian. Rebounds in front. O'Donnell looking to jam it through. Is Gauchi there as well, but that's going to be covered up by Withrow. Puck dropped. One back to the line. Here's Johnston. Johnston will shoot one low. It's going to go wide of the net. Chance for Yellow to clear, and Landon Andrews will do just that. Yeomans Viner will leave it for Johnston. Back inside the Navy zone. Here's Boutsiet now. Boutsiet up for Gauchi. They'll get the return feed, but quickly turned over. Here comes Andrews shorthanded. Landon Andrews have a chance. He'll try and work that on goal, but he gets taken down by Boutsiet, and that will be a penalty. That might be the only way to stop Andrews, is grabbing a hold of him, and that's what Boutsiet just did. So we'll have some 4-on-4 Varon and Andrews will stay out there. A bit more ice for these young superstars to make some plays. Puck dropped. Here's Andrews. Shot. Scores! That did not take long. Andrews goes through the 5-hole. And that will make it 4-0. Andrews puts that one through the wickets ferociously. 4-0 is the score now. Our first goal since the first period. Here's Caden McDonald, still 4-on-4. As that'll be worked ahead for Hudson Guthrow. Guthrow through the middle of the ice will shoot one. That's going to go wide. That's going to bounce off the end wall, but kept out. Here's McPherson looking to go across the ice for Maverick Coleman. Out of his reach. That'll be played back into the zone by Hudson Guthrow. That'll rim its way back to center. Guthrow gets it back. Here's McDonald. Caden McDonald will work it ahead. Picked up by Ritzy. Here comes Luke Ritzy. Puts the brakes on at the top of the zone. Will spin that back in deep, but collected by Team Navy by Maverick Coleman. Cleared but not out. Puck behind the net. Here's Ritzy. He'll work that to the corner. Gets taken into the boards. 12.5 to go in the third. Navy get possession back. Here comes Murphy. Owen Murphy from Truro. He'll work that wide. Has a lane. Murphy's shot will go up and high over the shoulder, but does not make its way into the net. Comes free for Yellow. Chance to the other side. There's an opportunity for Orca's shot will be stopped by Yeomans Viner with the glove. Rebounds there in front, but Yeomans Viner gets back to the opposite post just in time. And a bit of a scrum after the whistle. Bond will take the face-off against Jackson Duffy inside the Navy zone. It is now a power play for Navy as Bootsiet will be in the box for the next 40 seconds or less. Big hit along the wall in front of the Navy bench. Here's Wayman. He'll bounce that off the wall, picked up by Guthrow. Max Guthrow to the opposite side, guided into the zone by Orkish. Orkish will make the play in front. That's going to be backhanded on goal, but poked away by the goaltender. Warren Murphy will work it up the wall, kept in. Is taking a spill, was chased on, but makes the play over to Guthrow. Nearly a short-handed chance to their side. Here's Guthrow, hesitates, makes the pass for chase on. Shot will be gloved down by Yeomans Viner, and there'll be no rebounds with 1 second to go on the penalty. Bootsiet ready to bounce out of the box after the whistle, and puck is dropped, and we're back to 5-on-5. 4-0's the score. That goal came on the 4-on-4 scenario from Landon Andrews. Here comes Navy. Ketty gets it past Chason, enters the zone, pass across. Here's a shot from McDonald, comes free in front, another save from Withrow. He's had to be sharp in the early goings of this third period. Here's Guthrow. Spins off the forecheck, still has it. Makes the play over to Orkish. Orkish across, that's going to be gloved down. Kept in by Duffy. Duffy looking in front from Cooper McDonald, but it's going to bounce off a shin pad. Chance the other way. One-on-one, catch White. Makes a move, still has it. White will get stirred to the wall as off the bench came Jackson Hoyt just in time. Duffy takes a spill in his own zone looking to clear, but he finds Ketty. Ketty gets his stick lifted and neutral ice. Comes free on the other side. Here's Ritzy. Ritzy will saucer through the middle of the ice looking for the stick of Ethan McDonald, but he couldn't connect as that was Nathan Cameron, who made the saucer pass. Here's Doyle. He'll kickstart the rush from his own end. Doyle will hold on to it. Will shoot one low off the pad. Rebounds there. Send wide by McDonald. Good look there off a great shot from Doyle to generate a rebound off the pad. Play to the line. Here's Doyle again. This time let the slap shot go blocked. Here's Ketty up the rebound. Will spin one and fire it just wide. Sent towards the goal by McDougall. That's going to bounce off a body and go wide. Here's Ketty. Finds McDougall in the corner. He gets his stick lifted by Nathan Cameron. Picked up by Oliver McKinnon. He'll make the play up ahead. Here comes Yellow. Ethan McDonald will be forced back in his own zone as Danny McDonald will take over. Chipped off the wall. Kept in at the line by Hoyt. Here's Danny McDonald. Gets hit into the boards. Makes the play over to Kellen McNaughton. Turned over. Chance in front for Navy. That's going to bounce through the legs of McDougall. Here's Oodle for McDougall. Back for Oodle. He'll let a shot go. Blocker down. Rebound generated. That's going to be steered wide of the net. Puck's behind the cage. Picked up by Yellow. Here is Danny McDonald. Makes the play up for Gabe McLeod, looking to chip it past the defender Hoyt, but cannot do so. Work to the line. Here's Doyle. Doyle just gets by Andrews, who had the poke check going, but cannot get the puck on his stick. Chipped off the wall. Here comes Andrews. Nice move. Another nice play. Shot will go off the glove of Yeomans Viner. Here's Oodle now. 8.5 to go in the third. He gets his pocket picked by Varon on the back check, and that will eventually be cleared down the ice for an icing call. Looks like Oliver McKinnon will head to the dressing room for some repairs. Also haven't seen Ben Rimmer in this third period. He took a big hit near the end of the second. Haven't seen him since. Pretty common for injuries to pile up in this mini-series. Very physical hockey on display. The Nova Scotian way of playing the game. There's a pass across for Gauchi. Gauchi on his backhand looking to center it. It's going to go off a stick and wide. Gauchi gets it back to the line, finds Johnston. Johnston's shot will go off the stick, a with throw and into the corner. There's a collision looking for the loose puck between O'Donnell and Landon Andrews as he'll skate the puck up the ice. Andrews with a burst of speed will go wide. Andrews will shoot one low, rebound to the corner. Puck bouncing near the top of the zone at the ringette line. Played in by McNaughton. Andrews looking to center it. Comes free up top. Here's McCallion. Shot low will be blocked in. That's going to ricochet its way into the net. Hit his stick on the way through. McCallion will take credit for the goal. And it is now 5-0 for Team Yellow. They will gingerly make their way back to the bench. Another goal for Yellow. Bit of a funny hop on the way through, but they don't ask how. They just ask how many is scored. Face off at center. Scrum face off. Poked free. Bouncing puck is looking for that one. Was Ritzy, but he couldn't play the hop. Comes free at center of the ice. Here's O'Donnell. Grayson O'Donnell loses it as Bond will take over. Picked up. Guthrie looking to work it ahead. Picked off. Here comes O'Donnell. Grayson O'Donnell looking for an optional pass at the cross. Nice play, but unable to finish that one off. That's going to be played in the blue paint and eventually covered up. Beautiful saucer pass from O'Donnell. Sets up Hemian, but he could not finish that one on the back door. Still 5-0 for Team Yellow. Team Yellow won the first game by a score of 8-1, and then this morning the Navy team bounced back and got the win 5-3. And here's an opportunity, but that's going to be steered to the corner by Hudson Guthrie. That'll be cleared to center. Picked off by Cooper Best. He'll stretch a pass down the ice. No icing's a signal. Here's Caden McDonald. Looking to work it out of the zone. Comes free down low. Murphy makes the play on the wall. Murphy gets pinned to the boards. Puck comes free. Kept in by Hemian. As here's a shot that's going to be steered away. Caden McDonald has it. Will make the play up the ice. Here comes Catch White with a shot that's going to be blocked away by Yeomans Viner. Ritzy will make the play up the ice. It's going to bounce through the stick of Caden McDonald. But he makes the play back up the ice for Ritzy. Ritzy has it in neutral. Poked into the zone by Bond, that will take a hit to make that play. Here's Ritzy now, down low. Shields the puck with his body. Spins and fires it back into the zone in a cycle-like fashion. Picked up by Best. He'll lose the handle, but finds a stick of Rowan Murphy from Truro. Here's Guthrow. Guthrow over to Chason. Makes the play over to Orkish. Orkish gets by the defender. Orkish will drag and shoot one into the glove. Rebounds there, but that will make its way to the corner. Here's Cameron. Pass to the slot. That's going to bounce off the stick of Ethan McDonald. Work to the wall. Comes free in the corner. Orkish has it for Yellow. Orkish down low. Finds Cameron. Cameron will shoot one that's going to go off the shoulder of Yeomans Viner. Here comes Cooper McDonald the other way. Has a lane to the net. McDonald goes wide and shoots one that will go off the stick of Henry Chason. Good defensive effort for number 4 in Yellow. That one's poked free by Nathan Cameron. Here comes Orkish. Orkish shot off the rush, will be blocked. Here comes Duffy. He'll work that up ahead. Turned over as Danny McDonald will take over. McDonald over to McKinnon. Saucer pass will miss everybody and bounce its way into the Navy zone. 4.5 to go in the third. DDD pass finds Wayman. Wayman over to Ketty. Across, picked up. Here comes Johnston. Johnston pass across as that's going to be shot on from Duffy, but that will go up and high over the glove side. Good look there for Navy once again to get their first goal of this game, but just sailing that one past the glove side. Here's Ketty. Loses the puck at the blue line. That will be played back in the zone, and that will be offside. Just about 4 minutes to go as we see number 9, I guess that must be number 8, McCallion, heading back to the bench. Or, sorry, that is number 3, Danny McDonald, but looks like Aiden Leckie will head to the dressing room. So, might see a few injuries here. Here is Varen's shot, will be gloved down. And that will stop play. So that was Danny McDonald who exited the game, but now he's back on the yellow bench. I believe I said it was Oliver McKinnon, but McKinnon has not left this game. So apologies for those who are worrying at home. Here's McCallion. Played up the wall. Andrews loses the handle as he was poked off the puck. Here comes Oodle. Trying to force that in the zone. Andrews couldn't make the play in neutral ice. Worked off the wall. McDougall gets forced off the puck with a hit. Here's McCallion. We'll run that to center of the ice. Here comes Landon Andrews. Right down Main Street. Poked off the puck by Doyle, but Varen gets it back. 3-on-1. Varen will hold on to it and pass across looking for Andrews, but hits a stick on the way through. Andrews has it in the corner. Reverse hit. Another reverse hit. This time will be a penalty. Roughing's the call. It will go against Noah Hemian from the Western Hurricanes. 3:08 remaining. Andrews, Varen, Gabe McLeod will stay out there for this face-off on the power play alongside Hudson Guthrow and Max Guthrow. Or sorry, that is Caden McDonald, number 2. Picked up behind the net by Hoyt, looking to clear. Here's McDougall. He'll send that down the ice. Kills some clock off on this penalty kill for Yellow. Or Navy, excuse me. Here's Caden McDonald. Through center. Finds Andrews. Andrews gets poked off the puck on the blue line. Caden McDonald will recover the puck for Yellow. McDonald up ahead looking for Varen. Intercepted and sent all the way down by Doyle. Guthrow picks it up. Bit of a miscommunication there between him and Andrews. As Andrews will eventually pick it up. Lifts the opposition stick. Gets poked free. Here's McDougal. He'll flick that one, but not high enough to get that one in deep. That'll be sent down the ice, and that will be icing against Team Yellow. They'll head to the bench for a change. .2:11 to go in this game. 1:03 remaining on the penalty to Yellow, or Navy, excuse me. Here's Max Guthrow. He'll slow things down behind his own net. Guthrow over to Chason. Chason puts the brakes on at the center ice line. Back over for Guthrow. Here's Max Guthrow, enters his zone on the near side, puts the brakes on. Played up top. Here's Kostopoulos. Back for Guthrow. Back for Kostopoulos. He'll look for a lane. Finds Chason. Back across looking for Kostopoulos, but well out of his reach. Here's a bounce in the favor of Gauchi. He has a breakaway. Gauchi on the backhand, kept out by Withrow. Read that all the way through on the breakaway opportunity. Still 5-0. Good shorthanded chance for Team Navy, but they cannot beat Withrow. There's Chason. Over to Guthrow at the blue line. He'll play it in deep. Finds Ritzy. Ritzy trying to fight off Boutiette. Play to the line. There's a pass across for Chason from White. Here's Chason back across for White. White's shot will be stopped by Yeomans Viner as we're back to 5-on-5. McDonald will head to the ice as we're inside the final 60 seconds of this game. That's going to be clear to center. Intercepted on the way down. Battle for the loose puck. As that'll be worked into the Navy zone. Picked up. Here's Gauchi. Over to Boutiette. Emmett Boutiette with 40 seconds remaining. Has the puck. He'll skate down the ice. Boutiette will shoot one that's going to go off the side of the cage. Made the twine tickle, but not find the back of the net. Here's Orkish. Orkish will drag, makes a nice move on the backhand. Orkish's shot will be stopped by Yeomans Viner, and he'll freeze play with 21 seconds to go. Bond in for the face-off against Rowan Murphy. This could be the last face-off of the game. Puck dropped. Yellow got possession. McKinnon will work that in deep. Chance for Best to clear. Kept in at the line. Directed in the corner by Cameron. 5 seconds to go. Here's a centering pass. Shot stopped by Yeomans Viner. And that's going to do it for this one. So a shutout for Team Yellow. Price, Withrow, and Tanner combined for the no-no. That's going to do it for this one. So Yellow get their second win of the mini-series. They're up 2-1. Thank you for tuning into this one. My name is Mason Denike with High Button Sports. We'll be back on the air in a few moments for the U15 boys' third game. They'll drop the puck around 7:30, 7:40. But until then, we'll say sayonara from Andy Ganesh. Thank you so much for watching. This has been a High Button Sports production live from the St. FX campus at the Charles V. Keating Center. Hockey Nova Scotia High Performance Program. We'll see you at the next game.